How would I describe the Policy Institute?
Fun.
Fun.
Proactive.
Educational.
Discovery.
Engaging.
Energizing.
Exquisite.
Exploratory.
Inspiring.
New.
Just the beginning.
The Policy Institute is a 4-week DMV-wide experiential program that allows high school students to take a deep dive into a policy issue that they're passionate about, and then ultimately to take some uninterrupted time to speak with the folks at the heart of the issue, the people who are experiencing it and the people who are making policy decisions about it.
Over the past few weeks, we've been meeting with a lot of people and stakeholders in the general kind of clean energy industry and kind of fossil fuel industry, and that's been really interesting because I see a lot of like passion with people and kind of the future of the clean energy industry with renewables, but also some arguments on the other side about kind of the legacy of fossil fuels and how kind of our economy has been built on those previous energy sources.
That inspired me the most was meeting with all of the people who were formerly incarcerated, who had been in jail for decades, up to 40, 50 years, some people we talked to, and been able to come out of it and all of the trauma of solitary confinement and being imprisoned, and still want to create organizations that make an impact for people who are still in jail and want to keep working for those issues even after all of the trauma.
I would say I had a pretty unique experience because I didn't really know anyone coming into this program, but everyone was super nice and accommodating, and I made a bunch of really great friends, and especially Lee. She was super welcoming, and she knew I was coming from a different school. She was super nice and accommodating.
I think what inspired me the most was when talking to formerly incarcerated people, like really seeing their humanity and seeing how laws like the IRA law allowed people that were incarcerated at 14, 15, 16 got to get out, and like the amazing work they get to do in their community. Kind of this connecting theme of people change over time, and we shouldn't continue to penalize people for who they used to be, and kind of work forward and think about who they can be and like make sure that they can like reform themselves. I think that was something that really impacted me. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Evan. This is my first year at the Policy Institute because I'm from the field. I'm not from GDS, which has been a nice experience. I've had a great time at the Policy Institute. I've learned a ton about church and state, which is the track that I'm in. And I've met a lot of really nice, fun, interesting people. Just shout out to everybody in the church and state policy track. They're all great. So yeah, it's been really interesting. We've got to go to Capitol Hill. We went to Philadelphia. So we've just been all over, and we've talked to a bunch of different people from a bunch of different groups and just learned a lot about how the church and state is still relevant in the modern day.
When we took our group trip to New York, we met with the Coalition for Asian American Children and Families, and while in this meeting we had a chance to talk with 3 students who all immigrated to the U.S. Or had immigrated recently, and being able to discuss like the challenges that they faced and like how they kind of tried to like fit in American society was super interesting.
Yeah, and they were also like really close in age to us, so it was just interesting to see a different perspective.
Something I really enjoyed learning about was the separation of like establishment and free exercise clauses in the Constitution and how those interact with the policy that is made today.
Something that inspired me the most throughout Policy Institute was being able to meet and see organizations that were really making strides in trying to raise awareness about topics that aren't really talked a lot but are really, really important to know about throughout society. So like organizations that were trying to prevent human trafficking and help victims in New Orleans. That was really inspiring to see that there are groups that are trying to make a difference.
What inspired me the most throughout my 4 weeks at the GDS Policy Institute has really been the people that I'm supposed to serve. I feel like some policies in the government were designed to serve a group of people, but did not properly do that. And I think shifting the focus is probably one of the most important things that someone who's working within policy can do.
So recently we met with some OBGYNs at George Washington University Medical School, and they talked to us about gender affirming care, as well as the health disparities that Black women face in maternal health. And that left a big impact on me because a lot of the stuff they mentioned to me that I had genuinely no idea about, and that has further inspired my group to work on our action.
What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway was that even though that there's a lot of work being done already, there's a lot more that needs to be done because there's still so much misinformation and stigma around these topics that need to be addressed.
And I thank every single one of you for making this summer so special, and know that we've got you now moving forward through your action projects and beyond. This is a family. So thank you. 3.